Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are going to have another Heart of the Swarm from the Meet Your Makers replay pack, and today it is going to be under the alias Vanity Prime. It's going to actually be MyMPheonix. And in the bottom left we have as our pink Protoss, GangNamStlye. Obviously a very popular trend still happening all over the place, and in Korea, as this was played on the Korean server. He did in fact play as random for this game, so he was given Protoss, so we'll see exactly how good he is at this race, but it does appear that he's already aware he needs to put the pylon on the high ground. You cannot forge fast expand on this map, as there's a completely another attack path. I always feel bad for people when they kind of forge fast expand here against Zerg, and then you just see Zerglings like don't even need speed, and now all your probes are dead. Scout coming out. 10 pool out of Phoenix. So very aggressive play coming out so far. Does look like a 13 gateway, pretty standard. Sometimes you'll see 14, just depends, but he probably threw it down once he saw the pool. Assimilator coming down as well. Looks like he's going to probably try to hide this probe, possibly. Maybe just checking on a third. Nope. Is going to hide this probe. Do like the double pylon here, because that way if one gets sniped off, which very well could happen, especially if he just starts to flood lings like he is with just 5, but that way you don't have to worry about this being depowered, and you can still get out your zealot to fend off this early rush. So, should be fine. 10 pull should not do a terrible amount of damage. We do see a couple... Oh, nope. Just one ling following it up, and it does look like he's just going to move into a quick third. Or actually, natural, as the natural was pylon blocked. Pretty good surround coming out of Phoenix. Still has not only lost 1, 2... But as we can see, these are all very hurt Zerglings. And he is going to have to pull back. Probably just going to poke and prod around here. Starting to regen a little bit of health, but... Cybercore on the way. Probe still getting chased around. And is now going to put down a gateway. So, GangNamStlye says, hey, Phoenix, you're gonna be a cheeky little bastard? I'm gonna be a cheeky little bastard. With the gateway block. And you do have to take down this pylon beforehand, because if you don't, well, you're never gonna take down this gateway in time with the amount of lings and the queen that you have. So he could actually just start chrono boosting out like a zealot out of here, and well, that would be mighty unfortunate. But it is still 1 base to 2 base. We can now see that the expansion is on the way for GangNamStlye. More than likely going to put on a little bit of pressure here. Stalker, Zealot pressure, as he knows that the third is very far away. There's no queen out there, nothing. So we'll be interested to see how he handles this. We do see 10 lings on the way. Do we have a gas? Yes, gas is here. So he should be getting speed, yes, right now. Drone more than likely going to fall. Only made it 1 trip. Still see lings poking around down here, amazingly. And these lings will be able to clean this up. Surround on the zealot, easy peasy, even without speed, no problem. And a second stalker is here, so he can pretty much kite these infinitely, and with the DPS that is allowed from these... Oh, takes out the gateway first just to make sure. He does know that this expansion is on the way. So you really have to start kind of moving into your third base around the time that you see the Protoss get their second sentry out here, just to force field off any shenanigans happening. More than likely we'll see a couple buildings placed down, but this is what I was talking about with these lings. You know, if you're not going to bother walling this off, and you're not going to, you know, put up some cannons and stuff like that, you can in fact just sort of, we do see 2 pylons, and a 3rd pylon you can place down. These could get picked off quite quickly, and he should be able to push through here even with a decent amount of lings. He's going to have to land some really good force fields. This does get pulled down, and oh, misses the force field, and he is going to get the surround on one of the sentries, and 2 of the sentries, they both fall, and now he is in here, going to be able to do a ton of damage. Warpgate is up. That is a saving grace for GangNamStlye, but he can start picking away at some pylons, maybe even depower this 3rd one. Yes, he does. He's going to get the surround on the Stalker. Yes, gets 1 Stalker. Very good. He has already done so much damage. He killed a ton of pylons out of his opponent, allowed himself to drone up quite well. Now grab a 3rd very, very safely, and is going to even run into the mineral line and start causing havoc in here. We'll probably get a couple probe kills. Yes, 1 does go down. Actually, just losing 2 though. Really, really good play out of GangNamStlye. Does not have his Nexus rallied, so that is kind of worrisome. Needs to get that done. Could have probably picked off another probe, but overall, take a look at the units lost tab. 4 workers killed. Resources lost. Heavily favoring Phoenix. Now more speedlings out. Macro hatch on the way. He is going up to 3 gases. No layer just yet. Still kind of a slow game, because this map kind of, it's a little different than a lot of the Wings of Liberty maps, as you can't forge fast expand, and you can't really take this base super safely because there's actually 2 paths of aggression as a Zerg player, and it really makes for longer macro games, because 2 base pushes can happen at a good time, and even 1 bases are kind of easy to defend because you still have like this very small ramp. So quite good map design, I feel. And is he going to be able to get a good surround on these sentries? Yes, he does. He picks off 1 already, 2 going down, and now can pull back and even try to run in. No, cannot get in due to the wall off, and now with the force fields only loses 2 sentries, but the Lings now are aware that he's trying to take down these destructible rocks. Very interesting, because you can kill off these rocks, but still make it so you can get in through this area. Spine crawler coming down. And if we take a look at the worker tab, Phoenix, 13 workers ahead. Fairly standard at this point in the game for a Zerg player. So it does look like he is going to go some sort of 2 base all in with mostly Zealot Sentry, and this could be pretty dangerous. Are we going to see any sort of roaches? No, centrifugal hooks, in fact, being researched, and he is going to kill off this proxy pylon, which means that there is going to be no reinforcements here out of GangNamStlye. So this is an extremely all-in. If he can kill off these sentries, this could be problematic. The Spine Crawler and the Queen adding great DPS, more links flooding in, and it does look like Phoenix, sorry, is going to shut this down, and now all of these sentries could be in fact caught out here in the open as well. More links flooding in. He does have his macro hatch right there, so it makes it very easy. Lovely little nook that GangNamStlye found a pylon placement to happen. Centrifugal hooks coming down for Banelings. Have not seen any Banelings just yet. Just forcing out more force fields. Still a ton of energy here for our Protoss player, though. Zealot's actually falling quite quickly, losing even more sentries. And now just going to be warping in a ton of zealots working away on this pylon. Is he going to get it? No, these zerglings just get killed so quickly. This is going to be kind of difficult for Phoenix to hold, because with these warpins of zealots, they're just so strong against things. He really needs to get out, like, roaches, something of a little bit higher tech, or start utilizing these centrifugal hooks banelings that he has. These are 0/0 gateway units, but still, even with the +1, just not able to do a lot of damage. Now we see 7 banelings being morphed in, +2 on the way for our Zerg player as well. These Tickle Beam sentries just not doing a terrible amount, taking forever to, in fact, kill these hatcheries. And it does look like he's just going to wait until he can get a better engagement, not really worry about this force. Income tab, pretty similar. Zerg still ahead with a couple. And a huge baneling flank coming in. This is going to be a very nice engagement. Misses the banelings in the back and actually can't get through. Great force fields coming out of GangNamStlye, I must say. Really making sure that the usefulness of these banelings are, well, pretty much completely shut down, and now force fielding the ramp as well. Really going to be up in this main, doing a ton of damage. But without reinforcements, pulling up the drones, all of these units do die, as the banelings still try to roll their way up. So it does appear that he has stabilized. That was a very all-in play, but he did a pretty good amount of damage. So now the economy is equalized, but his tech is so delayed, as we can just see. He's just now getting it down to his second forge, just now starting +1, just now starting blink. He's really far behind. And in fact, with so much gas, I would not be surprised if Phoenix tried to go with something like Mutaplay to kind of do some very large harassment, as there's really only defense at the front with these cannons and stalkers. He could poke into the main and do a ton of damage. Observer flying over so gracefully, just observing. Mothership core is out and harassing. Interesting, it does pretty much the same amount of DPS as the hatchery does growth. Third, now up for Vanity, or Phoenix. I keep calling him Vanity. Why do people post replay packs and then play under only Smurfs on their replay packs? So much more difficult. Anyways, +2 weapons coming out. Blink is on the, or is already finished for the Stalkers. We have +1 armor coming out as well. But as we can see, these mineral patches are all very low. 60, 55 in fact, just diminishing. And that means, without any sort of third base available, GangNamStlye is going to have a very difficult time. Centrifugal hooks forcing out, coming out, and all of these banelings finishing up at a very inopportune time. Blink, though, does come down, and he's just going to be able to roll in here and possibly even take out quite a bit of probes. No, not a terrible amount, but still. Oh, well, that was a pretty good detonation, and it does look like he was also attacking with Lings at the front, but that just even knocks down the economy farther. GangNamStlye does need to start transferring probes. Yes, he does realize this finally, but as we can see, decent amount of workers killed so far from both sides. More banelings coming out, 38 in fact, and he is just going to keep putting on the pressure. I love this style. A lot of people do not use banelings in ZVP, but I feel that they definitely have their place. They do a ton of damage, and especially when you're talking about like clumpy little balls like this where they just sort of, all the army is in one little spot, you can do a ton of damage. And it does look like he's just going to bust through the front door, take out these cannons, start flooding in with lings, and he could get a huge amount of detonations. Great detonations coming out so far. Oh my gosh, and I don't think that he has a single worker left. He does have 10, but they are all in gas. That was such a huge trade. Look at the supply now for GangNamStlye. Vanity still with 50 lings on the field. Worker advantage of 59 to 10. Now just going to come in here and surround with lings. It doesn't matter how many blink stalkers you have. You need an economy to back it up. He is going to be flooding in more lings. +2 is even finished off, so now down to 37 supply, and it's just not good. With 4 hatcheries up to inject the crap out of, larva at his disposal. As we can see, oh, actually just used all of his larva up, but he does have 28 more lings in production, 50 out on the field. He's just going to be able to surround these stalkers, and easy. Oh, nice little blink tactic coming out of GangNamStlye, really utilizing the terrain to his advantage. Not sure why Time Warp would go down. Not even in really a good place. Probably should have put it like here so they couldn't run through. But he cleans up this entire stalker force and is now ahead 105 to 15. And it does look like GangNamStlye is just going to hang out to let this loss sink in. Think about what he possibly could have done better. 55 more Banelings coming in, and the second GangNamStlye sees this, which is now, he will know the end is inevitably here. That is not... well, that's actually well beyond what you would consider for a Baneling bus. He could even come over here and just try to surround this DT and then just manually detonate with X. Now the Overseer here. Gotta give props to GangNamStlye. Still really trying to get up his third base, but he just totally doesn't have the economy. Having to spend it all on DTs, but these Banelings, even when they blow up being struck from the DTs, it's not gonna matter. GG called from GangNamStlye. He knows he cannot hold, as the Zealots would say. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game. This was again from Meet Your Makers replay pack. Very cool team. Only a couple of players. Just got back into the scene. I do believe that they switched management and are slowly getting their footing, but have seen very good games, as you can see from this game that you just watched. So please come back for more. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Get up new games every day.